Ithala Bank says it will file an urgent interdict to challenge the decision by the repayment administrator to halt its operations. The administrator has ordered the embattled financial institution to stop accepting deposits and processing withdrawals. This comes after Ithala failed to regularize its operations or provide sufficient capital commitments. The bank was never granted a banking license and had been operating under a special exemption. Yesterday, the government said it will ensure that the 257,000 depositors are financially protected from the legally insolvent financial services provider.
It was important for us to ensure that we engage the National Minister of Finance and to even engage the President of the Republic. We had a meeting when he visited KwaZulu-Natal, and we were planning that we do everything it calls for us to try and preserve Ithala. The interest of preserving Ithala is the interest of the people of KwaZulu-Natal. Unfortunately, the Provincial Authority and the RA, they seem to be not in support of the preservation of Ithala by action or by implication. That is what then we are contesting on behalf of the people of KwaZulu-Natal, that while the issue of compliance is being addressed, but let us allow this Ithala SOC not in fact to be closed, because that will be in fact a hard blow to the previously disadvantaged communities.
For more reaction on this, we're now joined by France Nhlapo, KZN Secretary of the National African Federation Chamber of Commerce. A very good afternoon to you, sir. Thanks very much for your time. Your organization is very unhappy with what was happened.
Yes, Boyo, and good afternoon to Newzroom Afrika viewers. We are devastated, Boyo. I mean, this is unbecoming. I mean, if you look at the time that has been given Ithala to sort its house from 2002, Boyo, and now is 2005. And really, this is unbecoming. This crisis highlights a profound failure in the responsibility that financial institutions have towards their customers. It underscores the urgent need for stronger regulatory oversight and safeguard to protect the depositors and ensure that such calamities do not repeat itself. We must hold those in power accountable and demand transparency and fairness in how this situation is being handled going forward. Really, it's just unbecoming. I mean, one example, one lady from Nafcoc that banks with Ithala, yesterday when they were trying to buy the garments, I mean, they make a school uniform for the kids, and only to find that, their card, that transaction couldn't go through. And then they went back to Ithala and Lady Smith, and even those who work in Ithala, they said that probably it's some technical issues. And later on the day, they received a message that says that unfortunately, they have to move their accounts, for the creditors, for those who want to take money within their accounts to another bank. I mean, that is like pulling the cart behind the horse. How do you do that? They were supposed to be informed before, these things happened. And besides that, all those who are responsible were supposed to address the communities to say that, apologize on their behalf if they needed to move their monies. They were supposed to be given an opportunity to do that. Now, a lot of people today is Friday, it's weekend, and really, this is not unfair, to the communities.
And I guess, I mean, in cases like the one you have just mentioned, even the assurance by National Treasury that assuring depositors that their money was safe rings hollow, because an opportunity has just been blown away.
No, definitely, Vuyo. I mean, I will give you one example. In Ngwavuma, there's only one bank in Ngwavuma, and that bank is Ithala. Vuyo. So what is happening as we speak to the people of Ngwavuma now? You know, that means, that says that somebody, the authorities, up there, I don't know, they taking people for granted. And it's so much unfortunate that in nowadays, it's 2025 now, 30 years after democracy, I mean, this is supposed to be a black bank. You know what I'm saying? So, and really to be treated like this, it says that somewhere, somehow, nobody cares. As long as, they get their salaries at the end of the day, nobody cares. And unfortunately, it says that black men, you are alone, because these are black people that are banking with each other. If it was a white bank, if it was, there were a lot of white people that are banking with this bank, with this bank, each other. Vuyo, I'm telling you now, the institutions like your AfriForum will be up in arms as we speak. But now, because it's black people, it's just so unbecoming, really. It's so unbecoming.
I mean, this institution started 65 years ago, right?
That's correct.
But about half of those years, it has been under a supposedly responsible black democratic government.
That's correct. That's correct.
Is that where the travesty lies?
Look at what happened to VBS. It's so unfortunate. What does it say? It says that we cannot put our house in order. Really, this is so much unbecoming, really. I mean, it said that the Reserve Bank administrators appointed established that Itala technically and legal insolvent, exposing depositors to potential loss of their deposit or parts thereof. These people, like I said, they were supposed to come together and address the depositors in advance and say that move your monies to the other banks. Now, if you look at that now, one would say that probably somewhere, somehow, they were afraid that once they do that, and then the depositors take their money and go and deposit their money elsewhere, then when were they going to get those people back? You know what I'm saying? So somewhere, somehow, one is saying that really somebody is playing hide and seek here.
I mean, we've spoken about the government and this being an indictment on their part. But what about those executives who are running, this institution? The exemption notice lapsed on the 15th of December. What did they do before then or ahead of that deadline? And what have they done since? Because, the Provincial Authority only acted like yesterday. So what does that tell us about them? And mind you, they're the ones who have now run to the courts, to file an application. But what have they been doing over the past month is the question, isn't it?
Nothing, Will. That's the answer. Nothing. Because this could have been prevented. This bank has been given time. There's people who have been, knocking at Itala's bank to offer a solution to the challenges that they're having at this present moment. So, but I'm not at liberty to say such, but it looks like really nobody cares at the moment. Really, it looks. I hope that government is listening as one is saying in this interview at this present moment, because really, we are crying foul. We are saying that we need black banks, but those who have been given an opportunity, to serve our people, are failing to do that. Like you said, Itala has been around for the past 65 years. And you know, I was just reading one of the articles in Metro News. There's never been, they were not even a bank because they don't have the certificate to operate, which is the opportunity that they were given, that, you know, they can have a footprint everywhere.
Prove yourselves.
So what is it? What is it that is holding? I mean, really, if government had people's at heart, government should have intervened on this. I mean, they are the ones who are regulating. Really, you know, this is so much frustrating for you. It's so much frustrating. Not in 30 years after democracy, man. Come on. Some people must shake their back and be serious. If you want to take this country forward, you know, we have to be serious about the people that we serve.
And of course, we can't divorce this from the history that we know only too well, that outside of the bank as a development finance institution, for many, many years, it has been a piggy bank for the rich, the powerful, and the politically connected who have taken loans that where often there was no business case, but loans were granted and were never paid back.
Yes, I know that case in I think it was around 2015, where people were getting 5 million all over, and only to find a person who will say, you know, to apply for grants to build a shop or shopping center or something, and only to find that there was a shack, you know, where they were operating, and 5 million was gone. You know, and one asks yourself, what happened? And, you know, to date, we never heard of anyone, you know, being persecuted. So it's just so unbecoming, really. Something must give in. Somewhere something must give in.
France Nhlapo, let me thank you very much for your time. He's the secretary of Nafcoc in KwaZulu-Natal. Very unhappy for all the obvious reasons with what has happened, and the blame must be apportioned where it is really meant to go, and the authorities, government, both at national and provincial level, cannot wash their hands off this, and neither should the executives who have been running this institution for many, many years. You cannot blame the repayment master at this point, having known that you were given an exemption under certain conditions that needed to be met.